Alright, in this video we're going to continue on with Lesson D. And we've been talking about rules about time. Alright, so this is our passage that we should have taken some time to read. And also there's a barcode in our books and in the last video that you can scan to listen to this passage as well. Okay, so let's move on and see what we learned about rules about time. Page 77. After you read, right? Check your understanding. What are unspoken rules? So if we look back here in our passage, it says every culture has rules about time. These rules are usually unspoken, but everyone or everybody knows them. So to me, if I read that, I think that unspoken rules are rules that you are expected to know. Things that you should know without somebody telling you, right? So if we have class at 6 o'clock p.m., then you are expected to be there on time. The unspoken rule is to be there on time. Another unspoken rule is to bring your book, right? Another unspoken rule might be to bring something to write on and take notes, all right? And that would go same for classes that would be at 6 p.m. So that would be unspoken rules. Number 2, find the word punctuality in the second paragraph. Underline it. What phrase in the next sentence is a clue to its meaning? Let's take a look. So I've underlined it here. And let's read this passage here. In some countries, such as the United States, England, and Canada, punctuality is an unspoken rule. It is important to be on time, especially in business. So, I think that punctuality, when we're talking about punctuality, that's an unspoken rule. So we've underlined it, and now the question is, what phrase in the next sentence is a clue to its meaning? I think that clue, that phrase in the next sentence would be, it is important to be on time. All right, to be on time. So punctuality means to be on time. Number 3, according to the article, punctuality is an unspoken rule in the United States, England, and Canada. What examples in business and social situations does the article give to support that statement? If we look here, back in our passage, to be on time for business and business meetings, appointments, and personal appointments is very important. That's what I got out of this paragraph here. People usually arrive a little early for business appointments. Business meetings and personal appointments often have strict beginning and ending times. When you are late, other people might think you are rude, disorganized, or irresponsible. Number 4, when should you arrive for the following events in the United States or the U.S.? A, reception. A, concert. A, sporting event. A, medical appointment. A, business meeting. Dinner at someone's house. A party. A movie. According to this passage, you should arrive a few minutes early to any of these events. Number 5, some theaters do not allow people to enter after the event has started. In your opinion, what is that reason? In my opinion, the reason why some theaters do not allow people to enter after the event has started is so that people who are already watching the movie are not interrupted by people coming in late to see the movie. That's my opinion. Number 5, Manolo's Filipino family expects him to meet them when they arrive at the train station. The train arrives at the same time as his English class. What do you think he will do, and why? According to the passage, different places have different customs about time and rules about time. It says here, in the Philippines, it is not uncommon for people to miss scheduled events, a class or an appointment, to meet a friend at an airport. Many Filipinos believe that this relationship with people are more important than keeping a schedule. So, to answer the question, number 6, I think Manolo will miss his English class so that he can meet his family at the train station. Why? So the question is why? Because many Filipinos believe that relationships with people are more important than keeping a schedule. All right, so hopefully you got those answers or something similar to those answers. And if not, you can always, or if you have any questions, you can always ask me. You can send me an email or send me a message on WhatsApp, or we can talk about it in our Zoom meetings, in our group meetings. All right? Let's move on. Build your vocabulary. English has several prefixes that mean not. Write words from the reading that begin with these prefixes. The first one is done for us. Unspoken. Unspoken. If we look back in our text, right? Maybe it would be disorganized, not organized. Ear. From our text, I think ear would be irresponsible, not responsible. M. From our text, I think this would be impolite or not polite. Okay? Work with a partner. Explain the meaning of the words you wrote. So I talked about those words as I went through this. Work with a partner. Write more words with the prefixes. Use a dictionary if needed. Use each word in a sentence. Okay, so unspoken, not spoken. So something would be not, how about usual? Unusual. Definition might be simply not usual, something out of the ordinary. Unimportant, meaning something that's not important. Undo. To undo something. To go back and make it like it never happened. Unable or not able. I'm unable to lift 500 pounds over my head. Let's talk about dis. Dis right here, I use the word disorganized, not organized. So disagree, to not agree or to argue, to have a difference of opinion. I say it's up, you say it's down. We disagree. Disadvantage, to not have an advantage. Someone who runs faster than another person has an advantage. The person who is running slower has a disadvantage. Disable, not able. Sometimes we use this with disabilities. Maybe someone who might be in a wheelchair. They have a disability. Disable, they're not able to walk. Dissatisfaction, not satisfied. If you go to the store and you buy fruit and it turns out to be bad fruit, you are dissatisfied with the purchase. You are not happy, you are not satisfied. Ear. Here I said irresponsible, not responsible. So here, ear might be irregular. Something that's not regular, something that's odd, not right. Like clothes. Sometimes the clothes you buy might be shifted, or the hems might be sewn in incorrectly to make the shirt or the pants look weird, look odd. They are irregular. Irresponsible, not responsible. Irrelevant, not relevant, does not really have an importance. Something that might be irrelevant. When we are talking about English, maybe talking about math might be irrelevant, has no relevance, doesn't really belong there. It's not really important. Irrational, not rational. Someone who is mad and cannot be controlled. They are irrational, or they think and believe that their way is always the right way. All right, let's move on to M. M. I wrote up here, impolite, right? Not polite, or rude, right? Here I would say immature, right? Someone who's not mature. Somebody who might act young for their age. Impolite. I think, yeah, I wrote that before. Impolite. Someone who is not polite or rude. Another M. Imperfect, right? Imperfect. Someone who's not perfect. We're all imperfect, right? We're not perfect. We might be good at something, but we're not perfect. Immoral. Immoral. Someone who's not moral. Someone who doesn't feel empathy, or they don't feel needs for other people. All right, they're immoral. All right, so hopefully you had a chance to write down some of your own words. Those were some of the words that I used. Here's what I wrote. And hopefully you were able to use the dictionary if you needed to, and use each one of these words, of your words, in a sentence. While we're on our Zoom meeting, we can also talk with a partner and ask and answer questions. For instance, look at your answers for the events listed in question number 4. When should you arrive for those events in your native country? So if we look back here at number 4, when should you arrive for the following events in your country? What is the unspoken rule on punctuality in these following events? Someone is late to a job interview. Do you believe that person is irresponsible? Why or why not? You are 30 minutes late for lunch with a friend. Do you believe that is impolite? Why or why not? All right. Let's move on.